Guys, good evening. Thank you so much for coming to my channel this evening. Hello. Hi guys, to be frank with you, this story is very sad. It's something that when I heard about this morning, I just couldn't believe it because last year we did not witness any teenagers' deaths in Croydon, and it's been a long time we have had this horrific news coming from Croydon. I mean, as a parent and as someone whose child is about to go to high school, and as someone who was even, thinking about where to get my child into, sometimes you think that some of these schools are safe haven that, when you put your children there, that the tendency of them surviving London is there. But this story just puts me off guard, to be frank with you. And I don't know if you guys have heard the story of what happened today and how a child, well, a teenager, was stabbed by someone that knows her very well. Now, the story that we're getting is that they were in a relationship before and, it went sour and the boy was trying to reconcile. That's what we've heard so far. I mean, this is an ongoing police investigation. It's very, very how like troublesome. I mean, I don't know how to put it. When I had the story, I was traumatized because I have a young child, and I'm asking myself, how can my child, leave my house to go to school, and I'm not sure if he's going to come back to me? Like, how would the parents of this child be feeling? I mean, the worst scenario of this story is that they must have kissed this child goodbye, you know, when she was going to school, hoping that she will come back. And the school that she attended happens to be one of the elite school in London. I mean, Old Wood Gifts is one of those schools that they pay a lot of money for you to send your children there. So you just kind of like send your child to a school because you don't want them to go to any of these schools, but yet death happens. And I'm like, this is not it's not something any parent would ever wish for their children. It's not something anybody would ever imagine will happen. And for this to be done by another teenager, the guy that did this, the boy that did this is even 17 years old, in front of people, he stabbed her. He cut off her neck. It was her throat that he cut off. Do you understand? Her throat. Like he brought out the knife and cut off her throat just because she refused his love advances, just because she did not want the relationship anymore. And I'm like, two young people, we've lost them because the boy, he's gonna be in prison. He's gonna go in for his crime. He's old enough to go in for his crime, I think. He's 17. And we've lost a young girl just for nothing. Oh dear. I mean, I've seen a lot of stories about what happened today and people that were at the scene describing how horrific and traumatic it was. But my question will always be, when are we going to do something? When is it going to be a crime or, stiffer penalty for carrying a knife? When is the mayor going to keep our children safe? For how long are we going to be having this kind of news, hearing about knife crime people dying for things that can't be avoided, for laws that can be put in place to stop this from happening? May her soul rest in perfect peace, but this is not okay. Something needs to be done. Our children need to be safe. Our children need to be protected. I don't care what laws that needs to be put in place. This must be stopped. A child should not be killed on her way to school. A parent should not lose their little child, their little baby this way. All for infancy love, love that will not even last. Love that, let's say before 5 years you've forgotten the girl. Are we not teaching our children that all of this infancy love doesn't last? It doesn't last. It doesn't. Just for useless reason, emotion that doesn't even last. That they will marry somebody else and still divorce the person, marry another person. Before they got to 70, 80 years, they passed through a lot of relationship. Are we not teaching our children? Rejection. Why will rejection cause him to kill another human being? Where is this anger coming from? I don't know how to put it. Things need to be put in place. I just feel like there's so many things that are not in place for our children that is causing this kind of a thing. It shouldn't have happened if they have had this social skill, if they have been trained to accept rejection, to know that rejection is part of living and part of life. Where are our children getting this social skill about how to interact in the wider society, in the global field? I mean, this life taking it wasn't worth it. When I saw the news, I just sent the picture to my husband. Because I keep saying it. I don't know. I don't know how parents that have children in higher institution live. I mean, especially when it comes to the secondary. I don't know how they go to work and come back without being frantically, obsessed with where is my child. How do you, as a mom, as a dad, live? Letting your children go to school and come back and they're working on their own. My son just started working on his own, and I know how I'm always calling him, I'm always checking up on him, I'm always telling him to do a video call. How do parents live in London knowing that children might be attacked, killed for no just cause, just because she didn't take a flower, just because she did not want your love advance? This is crazy, like crazy. I don't know. We need to do better. We need to train our children about emotional letdown, about the fact that they will not always get what they want, about the fact that someone will reject them. It shouldn't warrant someone else being killed. Oh yeah. And this it's not as if, like, they are from houses like me and you. These are for her to be going to such school, Old Palace, Crystal Palace. Yeah, that means she's from a very rich background. Her parents are rich, or so it's not as if, like, she must be dating a child who is also responsibly from a home that we will say that they are well to do. So it's not just all about money, it's about training your children. It's hard to be a parent in this country. It's really hard. It's really hard because you don't know what the triggers are. You don't know what we don't know what the triggers are. To be frank with you, you don't know. Anything could trigger someone killing your child. And Sadiq Khan is here talking about, guy, just get the police out. Protect our children. That's all we're asking for. Get the knives out. It shouldn't even be there in the first place. Treat knives like you're treating guns. Do something. Protect the children. Why is it easily accessible for them? Why is it possible for them to buy it or for them to even have it? I don't care. If you want to stop and search, stop and search. I don't care. All I want is for our streets to be safe. That's all. This shouldn't be happening. No parent should actually go through this. I actually cried when I heard this story this morning. Because it could be anybody's child. It could be. And knowing the fact that if I had a daughter, that's the school I'll be thinking of sending her. And she was not at the wrong place. She was on her way to school. On her way to school. Come on her way to school. The safest journey that any child should be taking on her way to school. Guys, something needs to be done. And it needs to be done fast. That's my take on this. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And I don't care whether he's young, he needs to be locked up, and he needs to stay there for taking a life just because she did not take your flower and she doesn't want the relationship again. What kind of human beings are we betting? Children that will get their way, they must have their way. If they don't get their way, things happen. Jeez. Guys, I need to go. It's been a long time I've done the video. I just had to do this video just to say we need to be very careful. We need to be teaching our children emotional letdown and to be strengthening the emotions of our children for them to actually be strong enough to know that it's not everything in life that they will get. Relationship is not a do or die affair. Rejection is part of life. You walk away from it. You walk away. Not everybody will be, will want to be in a relationship with you forever. Walk away. Don't take a life. Thank you, guys.